viewers, and welcome to Spotlight. And we hope that you are washing your hands. We hope that you are sanitizing yourself, and we hope that you are also wearing masks in public. We also hope that you are, as much as possible, maintaining social distance, because it is this combination of things that is most effective in restoring our regular life. So let's just do it. And on our commentary this week, we are focusing on two things: the mission flights that have returned Kenyans home from India, from China, and also we are focusing on what is still in the air, our mothers. After a long wait, after many arguments, Kenyans who were stranded in India and China are now back home, at least some of them. What had been made to seem as mission impossible has become now mission possible. The government was definitely in a difficult place, because instead of presenting a return home plan, it painted what we can describe as a hope-killing picture in the name of the complexity of the possibility. At some point, the government, through its officials, actually seemed angry at the people-driven demand that it brings the stranded citizens home. True, it was not a routine request. None of the scenarios was easy. Each one of them was difficult. But the government owed its citizens one thing: a hope narrative. All perspectives considered, if we take the government to be a parent, there was only one right thing to do: rescue the children from the darkness of distance. Now, there are times when a person needs a parent. Sometimes one needs to feel a sister or a brother. There are situations where one needs a friend. There are times when one needs to feel an institution. In that same way, there are times when one needs to feel their country. You need to feel your country. On the positive side, this country feeling is manifested when the Kenyan national anthem plays in an Olympic stadium and Kenyans stand up in their houses in pride, sometimes with welling tears and even choking throats. The feeling of national pride is real. When the Kenyans stranded in a foreign country cried for evacuation, they were hoping to feel the love of their government. You can ask, can a government love? Yes. A government expresses love for its citizens by being sensitive to their requests and working for the comfort of its citizens and taking what we can describe as a pro-people approach to policy. But even as we talk about the duty of the government to love its people, we must also talk about the difference, actually the indifference of fellow citizens. Some people took a very unsupportive stance towards the fellow citizens who are genuinely stranded in foreign soil. They just read the news, updates, and felt nothing. Feeling nothing in such circumstances is not right. It could have been you. It could have been your child. It could have been your friend. The spirit of neighborliness should be a reflex emotion. It's sad that some people abandoned the people to fate. They left them to forces of nature. There were those who thought that asking for evacuation was asking for a fast world service. Third world countries do not offer this kind of service. But there was a mother in Kenya who prayed every day for a stranded child. There was a brother who prayed for the sister stranded unceasingly. There was a mother in China who had sleepless nights when she thought about her children back here at home. There is a father who longed to reunite with his wife and dealt with the agony of months of deferred hope. Their world had stopped, and they could not understand why for others it was business as usual. They wanted the whole world to stop until their beloved was safe at home. Our government shows a lot of passion in some areas. Say, collection of taxes. We see an overzealous government in that area. When it comes to running election campaigns, we see the zeal of our leaders in full swing, zealous than the word zealous itself. When seeking money for public projects, we see a very creative government creating borrowing avenues locally, sending delegations to institutions abroad until we achieve a mountain of public debt. We see zeal in the speed at which lowly members of society are sentenced and jailed, yet evidence, even after years of building it, is not sufficient enough yet to charge thieves in high places. We need to see zeal in a government valuing her own people. In another form, we see the zeal of state officers in the speed of their motorcades as the honorables push for priority in traffic. Their horns hooting and sirens blaring and flashers flashing. Citizens are pushed on the side to make way for the zeal of their leaders. But when the citizens are stranded in a foreign country and crying to come home, there's no hurry about that. When some patients are stranded in India, it is not that urgent. We know that the logistics are difficult, but at least let them see, let the citizens see some zeal. A government needs laws on one hand, but a government needs a heart on the other. The more the heart, the better. A government needs a soft spot for its citizens. In the rankings of government's zeal for its people, the Entebbe rescue, where the Israeli government sent its forces all the way to Uganda to rescue its people, remains one of the most outstanding operations of zeal, love for the people, and a soft spot for citizens. We must say here, thank you, KQ. And in the words of the CEO, Alan Kilavuka, planning the mission flights to India and the special flight to China was very difficult. Though it took long, when we see the planes land at JKIA, when we see the hugs and the tears as families are reunited, we feel the warmth of love. The warmth of love. The warmth of love from a government. And we would want here also today to offer a tribute and even a prayer to all mothers. We are still in the Mother's Day mood. We would want to appreciate the impact of our mothers in our lives. Each one of us has been touched by a mother in one way or other. And when you listen to people talk about their mothers, they will usually have like categories which really drive their conversations when it comes to the memories that they have of their mothers. One category is the aspect of wisdom, how mothers have given them a nugget of wisdom that has made them run throughout their lives. Even those who are older, those who are way, way older and their parents are not with them, their mothers are not with them, they have already gone to be with the Lord, they have transited, they still remember some nuggets that their mothers gave them. And those nuggets have become very beneficial throughout their lives. And therefore, mothers to many are couriers, are reservoirs of wisdom. And for all the wisdom that mothers give us, we are grateful. Also, people talk about discipline. This is a huge zone because, especially when it comes to the African mother and the creativity, when it comes to the matter of discipline. I mean, it's just an amazing memory amongst many people, and people go ahead to even show marks on their bodies that still exist because of a crime they committed and the passionate response of discipline that their mothers made in regard to disciplining them. So mothers and discipline, many of us are on the straight and narrow today because of the tireless efforts, to be specific, tireless creative beatings we received from our parents. And for that passionate discipline that came from the heart, we are entirely grateful. Many people talk about their mothers in terms of faith. And they give accounts, memories of how their mothers pray or how their mothers prayed. Very consistently, they would wake up at some point in the middle of the night, and they would pray for long. They would pray for long hours. They would pray for every member of the family. They would pray for the extended family. And even many of us have experiences with our mothers today who are really prayerful. And when you have an issue that you feel you really want to succeed, and it's a delicate issue, you make a phone call to your mother and tell her, "Mom, pray for me." Because somehow we believe that our mothers and their prayers go straight up, to the heart of God. And for that faith that the mothers just pass on to us, we are very grateful. And many of us also owe their faith, their being in church. They owe their fear of God to the mothers who pointed them to the cross. For that heritage, mothers, we are very grateful. And many people remember the food and those kitchen moments about their mother. And for people who came from families or who come from families which are rather large and they have limited resources, one of the very creative things about mothers was how they are able to divide a small meal to the plates of the 12 of you or the 9 of you or the many of you, right? And everyone gets an equal portion. And that skill of that distribution is just amazing. And mothers, of course, they always praise their cooking, even though sometimes it's very torturous to the tongue. Mothers are known to just praise their cooking, and it's just amazing how this kitchen moment, this food moment, has become such a great and helpful memory for us and for many people. So again, for those kitchen moments, mothers, we are very grateful. And sacrifice. The word mother and sacrifice, they rhyme, they go together. We have seen mothers who play both role of father and mother, and they do it without complaining. And even in that parenting, somehow children still turn out right by the grace of God. And we are also beneficiaries in many ways of mothers laying down their own comforts so that the children shall gain what it is that they need. So mothers and their indescribable sacrifices, we are very grateful. And in that spirit, I would want to offer a prayer that is written by Reverend Andy Olsen, a minister in the 59th Street Lutheran Brethren Church in New York City. And it is a prayer for all mothers, especially as we remember Mother's Day. And actually, when you listen to this prayer, it's a prayer for the families as well. Therefore, receive this prayer. On this Mother's Day, I am praying especially for those who became mothers in the past year. Those who lost their mother in the past year. Mothers who lost a child in the past year. Mothers who are estranged from a child. Those who are estranged from their mother. Mothers who have been thrust into homeschooling their kids. Mothers who are working from home and homeschooling their kids. Mothers who are healthcare workers. mothers who have been working in other essential jobs, mothers who can't see their adult children today, those who can't see their mother today, mothers with kids who are sick, those with a mother who is sick, mothers who are desperately needing some space for their kids, those who desperately want to be mothers, mothers who are overwhelmed, mothers who feel like they aren't measuring up, mothers who feel like giving up. To all this and more, I'm praying for God's unconditional, unmerited, and unending love to encircle and hold each one. The divine parental love that each of us needs and that is freely given to you and to me. May it be for you, may it be for all families. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.